Hello students, good morning. How are you all? Hope that all of you are fine. So today we will come to the topic tenses in English. Isn't it a familiar topic to you? Yes, surely I think. So we will come to the term and the importance of tenses and all these things once more. First of all, what's a tense? What's a tense? Okay, tense is a grammar term used to indicate whether a sentence is an action in the past, present, or future. That's the definition given. Grammar is a term used to indicate whether a sentence is an action in the past, present, or future. So while we say sentence, mainly the verb is indicated there, because using the verb we decide whether that action happened in the past or is happening now or will happen in future. Okay, then why do we use tense? What's the use of tense? What's the need of using and learning tenses? What's the use? So it is given, tense is used to denote time of an action. Time of an action. Okay, then my question is, how can we divide time? How can we divide time? So that is shown here. If this line indicates time. Okay, in English grammar, while we use this term, that is to indicate time. I think if you look at this closely, you will have an idea about time. How can time be divided? See, this is timeline as we have mentioned. And what is this line indicate? This line indicates the present time. That means now. What is happening now? Present time we say. And then what is before it? That is already completed. So past actions we say, or past. And then what is ahead of us is future. So time can be divided as past time, present time, and future time. And I think from the terms you can easily understand what does it indicate. What does past time indicate? It indicates that something is already finished, completed. And present, now, this time. Future, that is yet to come. Okay, so this is the meaning of this expression. That is, tense is used to denote time of an action. And the question is, how to form tenses? How can we make tenses? You have already learned it. Okay, but we use the conjugated form of the main verb and auxiliary verbs to form tenses. Okay, then before coming to, we told that time can be divided past, present, and future 3 times. 3. And while we think of tenses, with all the 3 tenses, time references, there are subdivisions. 4 subdivisions each are there. So altogether 3 into 4, 12 tenses we say. And how to form tenses? How can we form these 12 tenses? So we need the conjugated form of the verb. I think this term we have already discussed. Conjugated form. What do we mean by conjugated form? That simply means writing the 4 forms of the verbs. V1, V2, V3 and V1 ing, or this V1 form is called the present form, V2 past form, V3 past participle form, and V1 ing present participle, and I think I told you that that's the old usage, but now we are using V1, V2, V3 and V1. So 4 forms are there, and along with it we use certain auxiliary verbs also to form tenses. So these conjugated forms, these 4 forms of the verb, and also certain auxiliaries are used to form tenses. And then among the 4 forms, only the first 2 forms can be used directly to form tenses. That is V1 and V2 form. Only V1 and V2 forms can be used directly. So I have mentioned it here. This V1 form is used in simple present tense and V2 in simple past. What does it mean? All the other 10 tenses need auxiliary verbs to form tenses. We told that altogether 12 tenses are there, and using V1 we can make simple present, and using V2 simple past. All the other tenses need auxiliary verbs. Okay, it's a basic thing. Then which are the auxiliary verbs used in tenses, used in making tenses, we can say. Only 3 auxiliary verbs are used, and the forms of that auxiliary. Which are the auxiliary verbs used to form tenses? Auxiliary be, have, will or shall. These are the 3 auxiliary verbs used to form tenses. So while I write like this, this is to show that forms of be means forms of be plus ing form of the verb is used in the or in all the continuous tenses. If it is continuous tense, so we can say that be is continuous auxiliary. That means the auxiliary verbs, any form of be plus ing form is used to form any continuous tense. And then any form of have plus V3 is used in perfect tenses. So this is perfect auxiliary. Have, be continuous auxiliary, have perfect auxiliary. Then after be, only ing form can be used in making tenses. After have, only V3 form of the verb can be used. That's in perfect tense. Then will or shall plus V1 form, that is used in all future tense. And then one thing which I have to remind you is that even though we say V1, actually it is not exactly fully correct, because instead of V1 we should use base form. Then you may ask me, why do we, even though if it is base form, why do we use V1 form? The only reason is that, see, actually all the verbs have a base form and V1 form, but the speciality is that in both the base form and V1 form, the same word is used as V1 and base form, but there is an exception, that is the verb be. Be is base form, understood, but it is not the V1 form. But in the case of all the other verbs, have is the base form, have is the V1 form also. That means in the case of all the other verbs except be, V1 form and base form are same. That's why for convenience we say here V1. Okay, so will or shall plus V1. So 3 auxiliaries used in the making of tenses. Be with the V1 ing form to form continuous tenses. Auxiliary have plus V3 form of the verb to form perfect tenses. Then will or shall plus V1 form to form future tenses. And I think you are familiar with the conjugated forms of be and have. See, I have given it here once more. If you haven't learned it, make sure that you learn it, because it is very necessary to use. This is something basic. I'm quite sure that you will have a better understanding of it. So here the first column is to show that it is base form. So be is base form, And this verb be has three V1 forms: is, am, are, two V2 forms: was and were, and V3 form been, and ing form been. So likewise have, the auxiliary have has two V1 forms: have and has, V2 had, V3 also had, and ing form having. So this is the basic things regarding tenses. Why do we use tense? That is to denote time, and time means past, present or future. And what's the use of these tenses? So while we use these tenses, we can understand about that action, whether it is complete, whether it is happening now, whether it is yet to take place, etc. And we need the conjugated forms of the main verbs plus three auxiliaries to form tenses. V1 and V2 form can be used directly in tenses. V1 in simple present, V2 in simple past. All the other tenses need auxiliary. So this is something basic. And now I have given the tense table which you have already learned. So I told you that time can be divided as present, past and future, and with all the three divisions, four subdivisions each are there. So altogether we say 12 tenses. So which are the 12 tenses that is given here? First one is simple present tense. In simple present tense, the verb will be the first form of the verb, V1 or V1 plus S or Es. And you know what is V1 plus S or Es? This is the form that we use along with the third person singulars, he, she and it. With all the other nouns we use V1 form. So we say that this is V1 plural form, this is V1 singular form. S or Es form is singular form. But this singular form is used only with the third person singulars, he, she and it. So example is given, I write a letter, but if it is he writes a letter. The second one is present continuous. We learned that in continuous tense, be form plus V1 ing form is used as it is present continuous, present form of be. That is present form V1 form is, am, are plus V1 ing. Okay, I am writing a letter, he is writing a letter, they are writing a letter, etc. Then present perfect. So we learned that in perfect tense, forms of have plus V3 form is to be used. As it is present perfect, present form of auxiliary have. So have or has plus V3 form. I have written a letter, she has written a letter, etc. The next is present perfect continuous tense. See, if you look closely here, you can find out which are the verbs to be used. So see here in the first part, present perfect. So perfect auxiliary should be there. Second part is continuous. So the last part should be be form plus V1 ing. Okay. As it is present perfect, have or has. As it is continuous, be plus V1 ing. Then after have or has, we can use V3 form of the verb that follows. So been. Then ing. So the last part is be form plus ing continuous tense. First part have or has plus V3 present perfect. So present perfect continuous tense. I have been writing a letter. If it is he has been writing a letter, etc. So the four present tense forms, simple present, or also we can say present simple, present continuous, present perfect continuous tense. So likewise, these subdivisions are there in the other tenses also. In the case of past tense, simple past, we know that V2 form with all the nouns, V2 form of the verb is used. So I wrote a letter, he wrote a letter, there is no difference. The same V2 form will be used with all the nouns. Second one is past continuous. So past continuous means past form of be. As it is continuous tense, auxiliary verb be, past form of be, that is was or were plus ing. So I was writing a letter, they were writing a letter, etc. Then past perfect, past perfect. So as it is past tense, past form of have, that is had, as it is perfect, had plus V3. So I had written a letter, and we know that there is no change with all the same form will be used with all the nouns. Then past perfect continuous tense. So if you look closely, you can see here, past perfect continuous. So as it is past perfect, harder plus V3 form of the verb. As it is continuous, be form plus V1 ing. So had been plus V1 ing. Okay. So you have to keep in mind is that, if the last part, look at the last part of the tenses. If the last part is continuous, that means that the main verb should be ing form. If it is perfect, you should understand that the last the main verb should be V3 form, etc. Okay, so past perfect continuous tense, had been plus V1 ing. Then coming to the future tense, simple future, will or shall plus V1 form. I will write a letter, and grammatically, actually, you can say I shall write a letter, he will write a letter, etc. Okay, doesn't matter. Future continuous tense. There also you have to keep in mind that the last part is continuous, so be form plus V1 ing. The first part is future, so will or shall plus base form. So here will or shall plus be plus V1 ing. So the first part shows that it is future. The second part shows that it is continuous. So future continuous. I'll be writing a letter, they will be writing a letter, etc. Future perfect. So here you can see that the last part is perfect. So have plus V3 form. This is first part is future. So will or shall plus base form. So will or shall plus have plus V3 form. I will have written a letter. And the last tense is future perfect continuous tense. See, if you look closely here, you can see that continuous tense, so be form plus V1 ing is there. Perfect tense, so have form, so have plus V3 is there. Future tense, so will or shall plus base form is there. First part is future, so will or shall plus base form. So next is perfect auxiliary have. So here if you see, will or shall plus have plus been plus V1 ing. If you look at the first part, will or shall plus have, what does it show? Future tense. Have plus been shows that perfect tense. Last part, continuous tense, so be form plus V1 ing. So here if you look, you can see that all the three auxiliary verbs are used here. Which are three auxiliary verbs? Will or shall, future auxiliary, have, perfect auxiliary, been, continuous, be form, continuous auxiliary. Then as will or shall is in the beginning, it is future. Then after will or shall, base form should be used, so have, and then it is perfect, so after have, V3 form, that is been, and as it is continuous tense, after this be form, ing form. So future perfect continuous tense. So that is what I have to tell you in general about tenses. And now in the coming classes we have to come to the tenses in detail and also some of the main uses. So while we complete that area also, I think you will understand it better. Now I told all these things as an introduction. I'm quite sure that you know all these things, but if any of you have any doubts about tenses, how to form it, what's the need of these tenses, you should understand, because we know that without tenses we cannot express our ideas clearly. So it is very needed, needed to write correct English, and that's why we have to learn it. So make sure that if you have any doubts, you clarify your doubts and learn all the 12 tenses very clearly and the verb forms. So there is nothing difficult. If you look at closely, if you understand the basic things, it will be easy for you. So in the next classes we will discuss the main uses of the tense also. Okay, so we'll stop for today. Thank you.